In FluffTown's central square, the founder's stone gaze shifts subtly each passing night. His sculpted eyes, once fixed left, now survey the right side of the quiet plaza. A silent, almost imperceptible turn, unnoticed by most sleeping residents below. Birds, usually nesting, avoid his broad, cold shoulders like a charged field. They sense an unseen current, a silent hum emanating from the ancient monument's core. Even the wind seems to eddy around him, refusing to touch his granite surface. Each morning, a child pauses, tilting her head, a question forming on her young lips. She asks her mother. The mother dismisses it, a trick of light, but the child's unease lingers quietly. The town breathes around the statue, a living entity, subtly rewriting its own history. Shadows lengthen and shrink across the founder's face, carving new, fleeting expressions. His stone fingers clench slightly tighter, or perhaps it is just a trick of the deepening dusk. The air around the pedestal feels denser, heavy with unspoken stories and forgotten truths. A faint, metallic scent, like old iron and ozone, hangs in the chilly morning air. The ground near its base feels strangely cold, even through thick boot soles. Pucks, with his tools and an engineer's instinct, notices the unusual weight first. He taps the granite pedestal, expecting a solid thud, but hears a faint, hollow echo. His brow furrows, a flicker of concern crossing his usually calm, focused expression. The stone should be denser, more substantial, not this strange, resonant shell. Luma deploys her sonic scanner, its blue light washing over the monument's base. A schematic appears, revealing an unexpected metallic cavity beneath the engraved dedication. The words, Luma's eyes narrow. The cavity is not an architectural feature, but a deliberate void. Tick, ever precise, sets up a time-lapse camera, recording the statue's nightly movements. His data confirms a shift, consistent to the very minute. Just after midnight's toll, the statue's head rotates with uncanny precision, a silent, programmed dance of stone. It's not random. It's a deliberate, calculated action, like a slow-motion sentinel. The crew exchanges uneasy glances, the implications settling like coal dust. This monument is not merely stone. It is an active, observing part of flight. They decide to open the base to understand the mechanism of its silent vigilance. Beneath the bronze plaque, a series of heavy bolts secure the pedestal to its foundation. Pox kneels, examining the fastenings, his fingers tracing their cold, smooth surfaces. These are not rusted relics. The bolts are polished, gleaming faintly in the morning light. Someone maintains them, turning them, tightening them, with diligent, unseen hands. A subtle scent of machine oil and beeswax clings to the threads, fresh and distinct. Stitch, with her keen eye for detail, spots tiny wax crumbs near the bolt heads. She gently brushes them, revealing a faint, almost invisible, stamped impression. The word "a chill" runs through the crew. The Foundation's reach extends even to this civic symbol. Moss, drawn by an inexplicable pull, places her ear against the cold, unyielding stone. A faint whispering, like dry leaves rustling, emanates from deep within the hollow space. The whispers are not words, but a cacophony of hushed, fragmented, mournful sounds. She shivers, feeling a wave of inexplicable sadness wash over her. A borrowed grief. The air grows heavy, thick with unseen presences, as if history holds its breath. Pox retrieves his specialized wrench, its grip designed for ancient, stubborn mechanisms. The first bolt turns with surprising ease, a well-oiled movement, silently yielding. Each rotation feels deliberate, as if the statue itself permits their intrusion. Luma shines a focused beam into the widening gap, revealing darkness that swallows light. The metallic cavity glints, reflecting the beam like a hidden, waiting eye. The whispers grow louder from Moss, coalescing into indistinct, yearning murmurs. She clutches her chest, a phantom ache blooming in her heart. Not her own. Tick meticulously documents the process. Every measurement, every subtle vibration. He notes a faint, almost musical hum now emanating from the exposed interior. The team works in a strange, anticipatory silence. Their breaths shallow, hearts quickening. The pedestal lifts with a groan, revealing the hidden chamber beneath the town's gaze. A rush of stale, metallic air escapes, carrying the weight of forgotten time. The chamber is not empty. It holds something unexpected, carefully stored within. It is a collection of bound books, not stone tablets, but stitched, velvet-covered diaries. Their dark covers absorb the light, hinting at secrets deeper than the stone itself. Stitch reaches in, her fingers brushing against the soft aged fabric of the bindings. The velvet feels strangely warm, almost alive, pulsing with a faint, rhythmic beat. Each book is meticulously crafted, bound with delicate, shimmering crimson thread. They are old, yet pristine, preserved perfectly within the statue's hollow heart. The crew stares, a collective gasp escaping their lips, understanding dawning slowly. This is not a historical archive. This is a living record of rewritten reality. The first diary opens with a whisper of aged paper, revealing elegant, flowing script. Its pages describe a great fire, but the town's official history speaks only of a Luma, compares the descriptions, her scanner detecting discrepancies in temporal echoes. The diary details a riot, a violent uprising quelled by FluffTown, remembers only a peaceful transition. The words on the page are vivid, raw, brimming with erased pain and forgotten anger. Another diary chronicles a profound, town-wide grief, a loss so deep it fractured hearts. The entry describes yet FluffTown's collective memory holds no such tragedy, only quiet, steady progress. The narrative shifts abruptly, mid-sentence, the handwriting changing subtly, yet distinctly. One elegant script gives way to a sharper, more precise hand, then another, flowing. It's as if multiple authors share one pen, each writing a different version of the past. The stories interweave, contradicting, then aligning, creating a warped tapestry of truth. One passage speaks of a forbidden love, a passionate connection deemed the next line. In a different hand, rewrites it as the crew feels a profound chill, witnessing history being actively manipulated and erased. These diaries are not mere records. They are blueprints of a curated reality, spells of memory. The paper itself seems to hum, a faint, resonant frequency beneath their fingertips. The ink appears fresh in places, a dark, viscous sheen, defying the age of the books. A faint, sweet, metallic scent emanates from the pages, like old blood and new ink. The truth is not simply hidden. It is actively rewritten, a constant, ongoing process. The realization settles heavily upon them, a cold weight in the hollow chamber. FluffTown's foundation isn't just physical, it's narrative, a story told by unseen hands. Luma raises her camera, intent on capturing proof of these disturbing, altered histories. The lens focuses, then unfocuses. The image is blurring into indistinct, swirling colors. Despite her efforts, every photograph of the diary pages comes out, distorted, unreadable. The statue resists being seen, its hidden truth fighting against photographic capture. A frustrated sigh escapes Luma's lips, her technological tools failing against this magic. Tick begins to read aloud, articulating the disturbing passages about erased events. As Tick vocalizes the words, they seem to slide off the page, like oil on water. The ink shimmers, becoming fluid, resisting the act of being spoken into existence. His voice falters, the words losing their meaning, becoming garbled, indistinct sounds. The air thickens, pressing down, making it difficult to form clear, coherent sentences. It feels as if the very atmosphere attempts to silence the uncomfortable revelations. Moss, standing nearby, suddenly feels tears welling in her eyes, inexplicably, uncontrollably. A profound sorrow washes over her, a wave of grief that is not her own to bear. She cries for the forgotten fires, the erased riots, the love that was deemed inconvenient. Her body trembles, absorbing the weight of all the town's unremembered pain. This is borrowed sorrow, a psychic echo from the rewritten pages, bleeding into her spirit. The statue actively defends its secrets, using subtle, insidious means to deter them. It blurs images, silences words, and inflicts emotional burdens upon the unsuspecting. The crew realizes the scale of the challenge. This is not just a structural repair. They are confronting a living, sentient mechanism that controls FluffTown's very truth. Pox, grounded and practical, recognizes the need for a physical, unyielding anchor. He designs a robust metal brace, forged from unyielding, memory-resistant alloys. This brace will physically secure the statue's base, preventing any further rotation or tilt. Its surface is etched with intricate counterspell patterns designed to disrupt influence. The metal feels cold, heavy, a tangible defiance against the statue's spectral power. Stitch, meanwhile, carefully gathers the fragile diaries, recognizing their immense value. She begins to sew them into a protective sleeve, woven from enchanted, shimmering silk. The silk is imbued with patterns of preservation, designed to shield against erasure. This sleeve will act as portable proof, a tangible record immune to the statue's blurring. Each stitch is a deliberate act of defiance, binding truth against the tide of forgetting. Luma, undeterred by her camera's failure, devises a multi-layered encoding strategy. She transfers the diary content into hidden circuits, encrypted audio, and microprint. The data is scattered, fragmented across different formats, making total erasure impossible. She works with furious intensity, her fingers flying across holographic interfaces. This distributed truth will survive, even if one format succumbs to the statue's will. The crew works in a synchronized ballet, each member contributing their unique skill. Pox anchors the brace, drilling into the ancient stone with powerful, rhythmic sparks fly, illuminating the hollow chamber with fleeting, amber bursts of light. The air fills with the scent of ozo and heated metal, a stark contrast to the old wax. The statue shudders faintly, a deep, resonant tremor running through its granite. It resists, but Pox's brace holds firm. A new, unyielding foundation taking root. Stitches, needle flashes, weaving the silk around the diaries, creating a protective cocoon. The crimson threads glow faintly, pulsating with a gentle, steady warmth. The whispering from the stone subsides, replaced by the soft rustle of silk. Moss feels the borrowed sorrow recede, a lightness returning to her burdened heart. Luma's screens flicker with a cascade of data, each file a victory against oblivion. The copies are secure, replicated across multiple, hidden storage devices throughout town. A sense of accomplishment, hard-won and fragile, settles over the Fix-It crew. They have anchored the truth, at least for now, against the town's pervasive amnesia. As they emerge from the hollow base, the town square is already beginning to fill. Residents gather, drawn by an invisible current, an uneasy sense of something amiss. Their faces were a mixture of curiosity and subtle apprehension, a shared, unspoken dread. They don't know what's wrong, but they feel it. A ripple in FluffTown's confines. The air hums with unspoken questions, a collective subconscious stirring awake. Then, a sleek, black vehicle pulls up, and the mayor steps out, all smiles and practiced charm. He approaches the statue, his gaze sweeping over the newly secured base with approval. He addresses the crowd, his voice smooth and reassuring, a balm to their unease. He praises the crew watches, a cold dread creeping into their bones, recognizing the familiar pattern. The mayor's words are a spell, guiding the town into forgetting, into accepting the new truth. His smile is too wide, his eyes too bright, a mask over something far more insidious. The residents nod, their unease slowly dissipating under the mayor's persuasive rhetoric. They are being gently nudged, their memories reshaped, their perceptions subtly altered. The town breathes a collective sigh, settling back into its comfortable, manufactured reality. The crew feels the pressure, the subtle, pervasive force of FluffTown's self-correction. Their efforts to anchor truth are met with the town's powerful, inherent will to forget. After the repair, The statue cannot turn its head. Pox's brace holds it firmly in place. But the monument finds another way to express its unsettling sentience. It tilts. Its massive stone form leans forward ever so slightly. A new, subtle shift in posture. The tilt is barely perceptible, yet profoundly unnerving. Like a giant craning its neck, its stone gaze, once sweeping the square, now points directly toward a specific location. It directs its silent observation toward a forgotten service tunnel entrance. The entrance is overgrown with ivy, usually ignored, a mundane part of the town's underbelly. Now, it seems to glow with an unseen significance, bathed in the statue's fixed stare. The crew notices the change instantly, a cold dread washing over them. Once more, the statue is still communicating, still guiding, despite their attempts to stabilize it. That night, under the pale glow of FluffTown's manufactured stars, another change occurs. The engraved dedication at the statue's base subtly alters, one word shifting overnight. The change is almost imperceptible, a quiet whisper against the stone's enduring silence. But its meaning is profound, twisting the founder's legacy into something darker, more sinister. The crew discovers it the next morning, a collective gasp escaping their lips. The statue continues its subtle war, rewriting history. Even in its immobilized state, its defiance is not overt, but a creeping, insidious alteration of FluffTown's reality. The service tunnel now beckons. A new mystery unveiled by the stone sentinels gaze. They understand its silent command. Investigate the tunnel. Follow the new direction. The diaries, now safely encased, hold a new, chilling surprise for the vigilant crew. A page appears that was not there before. Its paper crisp, its ink still glistening. It is an addition, a fresh entry, written after their... The handwriting is familiar, yet alien. A blend of all the previous author styles. The words describe their future. The crew opening an unmarked door. Tomorrow, it details their journey, their intention, their every planned step into the unknown. A cold dread grips them, realizing the diaries are not just records, but predictive texts. The Foundation knows their moves, anticipates their every discovery, their every challenge. The last line of the newly appeared page stands out, stark and terrifyingly clear. It is wet with fresh ink, a dark, viscous stain against the aged paper's surface. The words, bold and chilling, read, the warning echoes in their minds, a direct, personal threat against their youngest member. Moss, sensing the shift, shivers, an unseen hand brushing against her soul. The diary, a living prophecy, now holds a specific instruction for their next mission. The crew stares at the page, the weight of the future pressing down, cold and inescapable. The chilling warning reverberates within the crew, a cold knot tightening in their chests. Why Moss? What makes her presence so dangerous, or so vulnerable to the Foundation? Her connection to borrowed sorrow, her empathy, makes her a unique, potent target. They discuss the implication, the raw fear evident in their hushed, urgent tones. To follow the warning means to leave a friend behind, to walk into danger alone. To defy it means risking Moss and perhaps the entire mission to an unknown fate. The night deepens around them, the manufactured stars of FluffTown offering no comfort. The service tunnel entrance, now highlighted by the statue's tilt, seems to pulse faintly. It is a maw, waiting to swallow them and their choices into its dark depths. Pox, ever the protector, weighs the risks, his jaw tight, his eyes distant. Luma pores over the encoded diary data, searching for any hidden meaning in the warning. Tick meticulously re-examines the statue's tilt, measuring its exact angle of direction. Stitch holds the silk-bound diaries, their warmth a strange comfort amidst the cold fear. Moss, sensing the gravity of the moment, stands silently, her gaze fixed on the ominous page. She feels a strange pull towards the tunnel, an instinct both terrifying and compelling. The air crackles with unspoken tension, the weight of their decision pressing down heavily. They know this unmarked door, this future event, is a direct consequence of their actions. The Foundation is not merely reactive. It anticipates. It plans. It guides their path. Their victory over the statue's immediate influence feels hollow, incomplete, a fleeting triumph. The rewritten history is now a living prophecy, dictating their next perilous steps. The choice is stark. Obey the warning or defy the Foundation's insidious counsel. A quiet resolve settles amongst them, a shared understanding of the path ahead. They will proceed, but with caution, with every fiber of their being on high alert. The statue's gaze still points, an unblinking stone eye directing them to the unknown. The altered dedication, it serves as a stark reminder of the Foundation's pervasive influence over FluffTown's truth. The town sleeps, unaware of the silent battle waged beneath its engineered tranquility. Its streets hum lullabies. Its buildings remember different versions of their own interiors. The blueprint isn't just a plan, it's a spell, and every spell demands a price. The crew prepares for tomorrow, for the unmarked door, for the costs of their discoveries. The warning about Moss is a cruel twist, a wedge driven into their united front. They consider every angle, every possible interpretation, every potential consequence. Her empathic nature, her ability to absorb emotions, could be a weakness or a key. The Foundation often turns strengths into vulnerabilities, exploiting the deepest connections. The black coins of transactional fate weigh heavily in their collective consciousness. Every step forward, every truth uncovered, seems to demand a greater, unforeseen sacrifice. The town itself feels like a living map, constantly reorganizing, refusing to let them leave. What does escape even mean if the very fabric of reality is designed to hold them captive? The unmarked Foundation door looms in their minds, a gateway to deeper, darker mysteries. Its opening tomorrow promises not answers, but further, more profound questions. The morning light filters through the manufactured clouds, painting the square in soft hues. The crew stands ready, their faces grim, their determination hardened by the night's revelations. They look at Moss, a silent question passing between them, a shared, heavy glance. Moss meets their gaze, a quiet understanding dawning in her gentle, knowing eyes. She makes her own choice, a decision born of courage and a profound trust in her friends. The service tunnel entrance seems to shimmer, inviting them into its unknown depths. Its darkness promises secrets, but also dangers far greater than they have yet faced. The founder statue, though unmoving, feels like a silent, watchful judge above them. Its tilted gaze, fixed on the tunnel, is a beacon, a sinister guide to their destiny. The air is still charged with anticipation as the crew takes its first tentative steps. They walk towards the tunnel, towards the unmarked door, towards tomorrow's uncertain fate. Each step echoes with the weight of rewritten history and the chilling prophecy of the diary. The sound of their footsteps is swallowed by the silence of the square. Then, the tunnel. They carried the diaries, the encoded data, the memory of borrowed sorrow, into the dark. Their path is clear, yet fraught with peril. A journey into the heart of FluffTown's control. The town above continues its gentle hum, oblivious to the deeper machinations below. Migrating architecture shifts, wiring hums, lullabies. Statues update their posture, unseen. Rooms, steel, quiet. Heat is borrowed. Loops of lived memory play on an endless reel. Black coins, transactional fate, await their cost in the hidden depths of the Foundation. The question lingers. If the map is alive and it doesn't want them to leave, what is escape?